Get up, Lakshman. All the chickens, peacocks, elephants and horses have already woken up and you are still sleeping like a lazy bone. Wake up quickly.
Where are you going so early in the morning, Baba?
Not just me, both of us. There's a big fair in the city. If you want to go see it, get ready quickly.
What? The city? Yay! We're finally going to the city!
All right, stop it. If you keep dancing like this, we'll be late for the fair.
So sorry, Baba. I'll go get ready right now.
Our Pawan is my pride and joy.
Yes, he's my pride too.
Let's go.
Oh, what kind of people are they? Even though they have a horse, they're walking on foot.
Oh.
Oh, what have you done?
Baba!
Someone catch my horse!
Baba!
Son!
Wow! Horse riding is so much fun!
Yes, she said.
Pull the reins, pull them tight! Yeah! Got him. Now he won't run anywhere.
It's good that he stopped, Baba. Otherwise, I would have seen the city before you.
Look at the times we are in. The father is walking on foot and the son is riding the horse.
What to say now? These kids nowadays.
You are right.
What does it matter what people say? You shouldn't have come down from the horse.
It's all right, Baba.
Get down, come on, get down! The little child is walking on foot, and you yourself are sitting on the horse like a king. Aren't you ashamed?
No, uncle, you're getting it wrong.
Quite, absolutely quite. Don't say anything further. And you, if you try to sit on the horse again and make the child walk, I will teach you a lesson.
Oh, it feels like my back is broken. What strange people?
Rajeshwar and Lakshman couldn't understand anything. So the son asked the father to sit on the horse. And the father asked the son.
You sit, my son.
No, Baba, you sit.
I'm telling you, you sit.
No, you sit.
No, you.
No, you.
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 You. Okay, wait. We both will sit.
Yes, this is a good solution. Huh?
Oh, what trouble is this?
He is not the trouble, but it's you people. This poor horse can't even speak. At least understand his feelings. Look at him. He's so tired of carrying the burden of the both of you. Huh? Heartless people.
Forgive me, my friend. You have opened my eyes. We have done so wrong with our poor horse. He has borne our burden for so long. Now we will carry his burden.
Oh wow! It seems like the horse is too dear to them.
Yes, I have seen a man on horseback many times, but this is the first time I have seen a horse on man's shoulders.
What has happened to him now?
Why is he behaving like this?
Baba, you didn't get hurt, did you?
Run, my son! My Pawan.
Huh?
Where has my Pawan gone?
Your Pawan ran off in that direction.
How will we go to the city now?
Just like Pawan went, let's walk.
What?
The sweetest bananas and juiciest mangoes in the village came from Mohan's garden.
The harvest has been very good this spring, Basanti. This time, we can get a huge profit by selling them in the big market of Vijayanagar.
What a delightful smell. Give me 2 dozen.
Give me one dozen mangoes.
Give me 1 kg.
Give me 2 kgs.
Someone bought 1 kg of mangoes, someone bought 2, and some bought bananas. And then there was such an aroma that even Mohan could not stop himself.
It's mine.
What's in it, brother?
Buy some.
So, is it eatable? Can you give me a little?
Huh, if I give it to you, then what would I eat?
In return for 6 bananas and mangoes, Mohan took the payasam from the man.
Do you have more?
If you want more, why don't you cook it at home?
What's the recipe?
After taking a lot of mangoes and bananas from Mohan, the man shared the recipe for payasam.
Basanti!
Huh?
Basanti! Oh, Basanti!
Huh? Why are you so happy? It looks like you have made a very good profit.
Forget the profit. Today, I have savored something that has lifted my spirits, made my heart happy, and my soul truly satisfied. Wait, let me show you. Here I put the sugar, a little ghee,
Huh?
and some dry fruits. And the payasam is ready.
But the pot is empty.
But my mind is not empty, Basanti. I have brought all the ingredients to prepare the payasam. Just take these and start preparing.
But we don't have any wood.
I'll bring it quickly. A bear! Save me! Where did this bear come from? I made a mistake. Spare me! Not today, Mr. Bear, because today is my turn to eat.
Will you eat me?
No, Mr. Bear. I was talking about the possum. This is entirely my fault. If I had not thought about eating possum and not come to the jungle to gather wood, I wouldn't have slept. The wood wouldn't have fallen on you. It seems like my dream of having possum will remain just a dream.
Possum? What's this possum?
Possum? The taste of possum? Ah. Wow. The aroma of possum? Wow. Mwah. If you haven't eaten possum yet, then you haven't eaten anything good.
And it turned out the talking bear was also fond of eating.
I also want to eat possum. Will you feed me too?
But I'll need some more wood for that.
You only concentrate on the possum. 100, 500 logs. I'll bring you as much wood as you want.
Okay. 500 logs would be enough. I can use them for the entire month.
So I will.
What? A bear? People invite their friends and relatives, and you invited a bear?
Oh no, poor Basanti. What could she do? She started making possum for the guest. The possum was ready. Now they were waiting for the guest.
I can smell the aroma from here, and I can't resist. What say, Basanti? Should we taste a little bit?
Why not? But only a little bit.
As soon as the lid was lifted, the aroma of the possum spread. And it became difficult for both of them to wait. They began tasting with a spoon, then moved on to a bowl, and then to a plate. And eventually, they couldn't resist and started eating directly from the possum pot.
Oh no, we ate all the possum. What should we do now?
Wondering how the bear would ever know the taste of possum, they decided to mix the leftover rice with adulterated milk. Whatever it turned out to be, it was now ready. Both of them thought that if they wouldn't be home, how could it possibly matter whether the bear liked it or not?
Possum.
Driven by the temptation of possum, the poor bear arrived hungry and immediately began to eat. But how much could he possibly relish the possum, made with the adulterated milk and a few grains of rice, and without any dry fruits?
Where will you escape? I will not leave you. After all the praise for possum, what have you fed me? The day I'll find you, I'll teach you a lesson.
Oh no, our house!
In Vijayanagar, there was a pond near the main road where every traveler used to stop and take rest.
My stone will bounce the most number of times in the water and go the farthest too.
Yes, it will, but not as far as my stone. Yay!
What kind of rock is this?
Huh? There is something written on it.
Children, what are you doing near the pond? Huh? Go back to your home.
Uncle, we are not fooling around. We are actually trying to understand what this image imprinted on the rock means.
Image? Get back! Get back!
It looks like a donkey to me.
A stick and a broken pot. I don't understand what this could mean.
This is a donkey and this is a stick.
I need to rethink this with a different perspective. What is this? Yes, I should ask the sage in the ashram.
Guruji has gone on a pilgrimage.
What? Guruji's not there? So let us ask the disciple then. Can you come with us, Mr. Vedpal? We are in need of help.
This is a good opportunity to get my work done from the villagers. But the entire work of the ashram is still pending. Who will do it?
It's okay. We'll finish your work.
Yes, you are right. Let us finish his work quickly.
In the absence of Guruji, the villagers called the disciple Vedpal to solve the mystery of the painting on the rock. Vedpal, who believed himself to be very clever, started to explain the significance of the drawing on that rock to the innocent villagers who were oblivious.
This is very difficult to understand. But not for me. Do you see this stick? This is not an ordinary stick, but it's a magical stick. And this man...
Man? Where do you see a man?
The one who is holding the stick.
Well, but sir, are you sure about it? Because it doesn't look like someone is holding the stick.
Well, if you are so intelligent, then why don't you figure it out yourself? I am leaving.
Wait. You are the most knowledgeable person here. Please tell us.
Okay, let me tell you. This person who is holding the magical stick in his hand is not an ordinary man, but the great hero of Vijayanagar himself, who sacrificed his life while protecting Vijayanagar years ago. I can foresee that if any traveler passing by here does not stop here and pray to him, then they will face tremendous loss, just like that broken pot, and they will turn into donkeys.
We all know that stones don't speak for themselves. So people immediately believed Vedpal's words. The people of the village made Vedpal the priest of that stone. where he used to chant the wrong mantras to fool people.
Bathe this stone with milk.
Yes, I'm doing it.
Leave it now and give me this.
Okay.
Oh.
This continued until the Guruji of the ashram returned from the pilgrimage after a few months.
My dear animals, how did the condition of my ashram become like this? Where is Vedpal? Vedpal! Huh? Why are they pointing there? And what kind of crowd is there? Huh? What's this?
Guruji.
What are you doing? Someone stop him! We will not let this happen! We will not allow our place of worship to be destroyed!
Is that so? Huh?
It's shining. What's this?
Treasure? The drawing on the stone indicated that we would get the treasure if we broke the stone with an iron rod. And anyone who did not do so would be a donkey.
But we were told that...
If you continue to blindly trust anyone's words without utilizing your mind, you will remain a fool like this.
Forgive me, Guruji.
This treasure belongs to this village. Therefore, it will be used to repair this road so that travelers going to the town do not face any inconvenience.
If you like this video, subscribe to our channel Murthy Media.